This is a tale of mystery, of a lost distillery, and how the world's rarest Japanese whiskey was rediscovered. This is the story of Shirakawa, 1958. Can you please tell me the story of Shirakawa and Takarashozu? When did the distillery open, and when and why did it close?
白川工場は1939年に、当時、宝酒造が当時所有しておりました大黒ぶどう酒によって東京から約200キロ離れたところにある福島県の白河市に建設されました。当時その作ったモルトについては主にブレンド用のモルトとして使って、シングルモルトで発売したような記録はございません。主にモルトブレンド用のウイスキーとして作られたようです。2003年に白川工場自体は閉鎖されまして、2011年に東日本大震災が発生して、その跡地について仮設住宅として白河市に提供し、以後寄付して、その後、白川工場自身はその面影もなくなったような状況になっています。
The distillery had gone, but the question remained: what was Shirakawa's whiskey like? Could there be any left? So Stephen, what made you embark on the quest, and what was your reaction when you finally found the whiskey?
Well, Takara Shuzo bought Tomatin in 1986, so I became intrigued by the story of Shirakawa. Always asked the question, is there any stock left over? 2018, I'd been in Japan speaking to a colleague at Takara Shuzo. He had heard rumours that there was a parcel of stock, which obviously I was ecstatic about. In 2019, I went back out to Japan. I'd asked if we could have a meeting about the parcel of whiskey they had found, and they had a small sample bottle. I could see on the label it had 1958. Throughout the course of the meeting, I'm getting more and more excited, and eventually I just said, does that really say 1958? They said, oh yeah. I just thought, wow, this is incredible.
I understand that the story behind the whiskey is unlike any other. Can you describe what happened to it?
Not only was this an amazing find, but its backstory is unlike any other whiskey I've ever heard about. Distilled in 1958, it was aged in cask, then transferred to ceramic jars at the distillery. When Shirakawa closed, it was put into stainless steel tanks at Takara Shuzo's Kurekabegura distillery in Kyushu. It was forgotten about until Stephen's perseverance paid off. It's a truly extraordinary story, the rediscovery of what is the oldest single vintage Japanese whiskey.
The final question was, what was it like, and what does it tell us? How important was it then to establish the provenance?
We did research through Takara's archives, and we managed to locate documentation which had the 1958 distillation date. From the analysis that we carried out, we could verify that the whiskey had a significant level of maturity. So that was important, to have that comfort about the distillery and also about the parcel.
Were you nervous when you first tasted it? What were your impressions?
Was I nervous? Of course, there's never a guarantee that a really old whiskey will be superb, but it's a remarkable whiskey which clearly has spent a long time in cask.
How significant is this discovery?
Well, I think it's incredible. The fact that Japanese whiskey is so highly sought after today, the collectors, the connoisseurs, even the whiskey investors today are desperate to get into the Japanese market.
So a distillery nobody's heard of before, does that increase collectability?
The fact that this has never been heard of, never been seen before, newly discovered, huge amount of research into the provenance and the heritage, I think there'll be massive demand for this whiskey.
Shirakawa, 1958. What was lost is now found.